Welcome to Beer Boy Barbecue, and tonight we are going to be starting preparations on a brisket that we're going to be smoking tomorrow morning. So let's get this cut on open, and then we'll start going over everything. Whew. Got some good marbling on the edge. We're going to be doing a little bit of trimming, just not too much. We got a big chunk here that needs to come out. A little bit up in here. Let's look at the other side. Oh, definitely barely any trimming. A little bit there, a little bit over there. Just one big fat chunk. You see that? There's no way something like that would ever render out. So that you definitely need to trim out. A lot of this other fat, it's pretty soft. You can leave a lot of it. The stringy stuff you definitely want to get rid of because that just has potential to burn, and we don't want that on our meat. All right, so let's start trimming. Now the reason I'm taking my time here is because I don't want to get rid of any of my meat. So I need to take my time and make sure I'm only getting fat. That's our fat that separates our point muscle and our flat muscle. It's a big fat ring that comes right through the center and separates the two muscles. We're going to be cutting that out anyway at the end of the cook. This nice fat cap. It's a little thick in some spots, but not too bad. And there's that thick band of fat that's separating the two muscles. So we really want to get in there, help expose that meat. This is really thick fat. We don't want that in there. That's a little tough. We're going to get in there just a little bit, not too much, because we don't want to disrupt the meat, but that is a lot of fat. Get this chunk out of there. Okay, that's good. That's going to come out later. All right, so there we have it. We're all trimmed up, ready to go. So here's, right here, if you see this line of fat, and right into that piece. And now if I flip it over, you can see how it follows into there, right? So this is our flat muscle, right here. This whole nice big piece. This is what we're gonna do all of our slices out of. Then we move over to our point muscle, which is on the other side of that fat line, which is all up in here, everything up top, over that fat line, okay? And that is where we're going to get our burn ends and our chopped. Tonight I'm not cooking this though. This is a cook for tomorrow morning. Right now it is 9:40. We're gonna be waking up at 5, hopefully having it on the grill at 5:30. Probably gonna end up cooking it for about 8 hours. So I know a lot of people, they use a store-bought rub. The reason I don't use a store-bought rub is because I like to have the flavors exactly what I'm looking for, okay? So in order for me to obtain that, obviously I'm making it myself. I do not put salt in my dry rub, okay? I salt separately. And the reason being is because now I get to control the amount of salt that's going on my meat. A nice sprinkle straight across, straight down, little pat, little rub, and I know exactly how much salt is on this piece of beef. If you use a dry rub that is pre-made, or if you add salt to your own dry rubs even, well, all that's doing is it's giving you an unknown amount of salt across your meat, because if your dry rub's not mixed well, something along those lines, it might be salty here, not enough salt here, something like that. Now I know that I have exactly the amount of salt that I want across this whole piece of beef, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So that is it. Now what we're gonna do is get rid of this fat out of the pan. We're gonna take our brisket, we're gonna wrap her. Okay, I'm just gonna put some saran wrap right over on top of it. We want it to be nice and tight in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna button that up as tightly as we can there to help keep that moisture attached. Now we're just gonna tin foil over it. So now that our brisket is trimmed, our brisket is salted, it's wrapped, and it's in a pan. We're gonna put it back in the fridge for the rest of the night. And when I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna get my dry rub on it, get my smoker heated up. I will see you guys then. Good morning, everybody. So we're back here. It's 5:20. And pretty much what we're gonna do now is we're going to open this up, see what she looks like, add our dry rub, and get her on the grill. So let's take a look. As you can see, super moist. Right? Nice and wet. Our dry rub's gonna stick beautifully to that. After our first little pour, right? So it looks a little dry. So what we're gonna do is leave it on there nice and thick, let it sit for a minute, and then once it gets a little more moisture built through, then we'll give it a little flip. In order to get the optimal crust on the bark, we need to make sure the dry rub sticks good. Looking a lot darker and a lot redder. It's because of all the moisture on that brisket. It's helping the dry rub adhedes. So we're gonna go ahead, turn this bad boy over. Now the same thing for this side. Pack it on there nice. I'm just gonna wait for that nice dark color, and we know that the rub is sticking nicely. And we'll finish up, get the sides nice and tight before we put her on the grill. Rubber's on there. Let's get her on the grill. Today we're going to be smoking our brisket on the Pit Boss Pro. Okay. This is my first pellet grill, not my first smoker. I do have an offset smoker that I use as well. I'm really liking the pellet grill. Obviously this one's a little bit on the cheaper side, but me personally haven't noticed any big differences from friends that I've spoken to that have Traegers. So I would recommend this grill. Great grill, holds temperature nicely, runs for hours. It's amazing. Loving the grill. We're using the Pit Boss competition blend of hickory, maple, and apple. All right. So let's get her on. Right now we're holding our temperature at 225. Let me bring it in. So, as you can see, putting the brisket on a rack, and the reason I'm doing that is because I want it away from the heat source just a little bit more. The smoke's gonna be able to come right through that meat and right out the vent. Okay. So that's what she looks like at this moment. And we will check back in a little while. See how it's going through the process. All right, check it in. We are about to rack this bad boy right now. So as you can see, our fat is getting nice and rendered. Oh, look at that juice. We have a nice solid bark on this. Looking good, looking good. All right, so let's wrap her up. And we're gonna get her back on the grill for about another 2 hours. We should be at where we need to be. Right now, pulling it off, I was installed at 155. And yeah, I mean, it should be done fairly soon. So we'll check back in when we're ready. All right, guys, we're back. And brisket's been resting for about an hour in the cooler. We pulled it off the grill at 200 degrees. So now we're gonna separate the muscles. We're gonna make some slices. We're gonna make some chopped. And we're gonna make some burn ends, so let's go. Get that money shot. Money shot. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. All right, so now we're going to separate these muscles. All right, so now our muscles are separated. We have our flat right here. I'm going to flip that upside down, and this is where we're going to slice it from. So it's very important too. Our grain's running this way. You gotta make sure you cut against that grain so that it has a nice pull, pulls apart. This is our point muscle, okay? We're gonna turn this into some burn ends and some chopped. All right, so let's give you a cross section first. Get my slicing knife. Look at that. Look at that juice. That smoke ring, it's beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's get a nice slice in here. Here we have a nice slice. All right, we'll give it our two tests. One, doesn't fall apart until, oh, look at that pull. Look at that pull. Perfect. Look at that. I'm gonna give it a try. See how this came out. Oh boy. That is fantastic. Try some. It's hot. Right. I'll push this to the side. So I'm gonna get this cut up into some slices. Like I said, I'm gonna do the burn ends and some chopped over here. And then we'll be back once it's all ready to get eaten. All right. Here we go. We got a bunch of people here. We're gonna be trying our sliced, chopped, and burnt end for all. I think we got like 13 plates ready to go. We're gonna enjoy this. Say hi.
Hi.
Hello. We're gonna eat some barbecue.
Happy 4th of July.
Woo. Happy 4th of July. I just wanted to thank you all so much for joining me for my very first video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You know, be patient with me for getting more stuff up there for you guys. definitely a learning experience, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much, and welcome to Beer Boy Barbecue.